Welcome to the Deep Dive Library, where you're part of this community and we're in this together. Join us on this journey as we break down the best books on entrepreneurship, finance, and personal growth.
Stay tuned, because later I'm going to share secrets most people don't know. By the end of each episode, you'll learn actionable insights to level up your life and business.
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe to join thousands of listeners and never miss exclusive content. Share your thoughts. We read every message. All right, let's jump into this deep dive. We're tackling a fundamental question today that, well, it really underpins success in just about every area of life, especially if you're building something, dealing with finance, or just committed to growth. How do you build immense inner strength? We've got a compelling audiobook source here that lays out some really powerful principles for doing just that.
Yeah, and our mission in this deep dive is to pull out those key nuggets of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
The actionable insights you can actually use.
Exactly. What can you apply now?
And that's really what this source gets into. It makes it clear that strength isn't something you're, just born with.
Or something you find only when things are easy.
Right. It's forged day by day from the inside out. It's built through deliberate choices and often uncomfortable action.
Built when no one's watching, as they say.
That's it. And then it shows up when you really need it, when the pressure's on.
So where does the source say this whole process begins? What's the absolute first principle for building this kind of foundational strength?
Okay, it starts with what the source calls a non-negotiable decision.
Non-negotiable. Okay.
Taking full control of your life and doing it right now. It's very absolute on this point.
Taking control. I mean, it sounds straightforward, maybe even a bit cliche sometimes. What does full control mean according to this source?
It means really shutting down that internal voice of blame. Stopping the passive waiting for things to magically change.
Just hoping things get better?
Exactly. Abandoning that hope. It's about a radical acceptance of ownership. Taking full responsibility for your choices, your thoughts, your actions.
And the results too, good or bad.
And crucially, the results.
Yeah.
Good and bad. It's all on you.
And the alternative to that is just drifting, going with the flow.
Precisely. Comfort and drifting, the source says, are the enemies here.
Yeah.
They don't build strength.
They lead to regret, right? The if-onlys.
Exactly. It leads to a life filled with if-onlys. But the moment you make that internal shift, that decision, this is my life and I am responsible for it, you reclaim this incredible power. Power you might have been just giving away.
So making that decision doesn't mean problems disappear instantly.
Not at all. That's not the point.
It's more about how you respond to them.
That is the absolute core insight. You shift from, say, a victim perspective, I can't because X happened, to a position of agency.
I will do this because I've decided this is the path.
Right. That internal shift changes everything. How you face stress, setbacks, challenges. Strength, the source argues, is built brick by brick in those daily responses.
Choosing courage when you feel fear.
Yes. Choosing discipline over the easy excuse. Choosing to move forward when everything inside you wants to just stop.
I like how the source connects taking control directly to practical things, like managing your time. It's not just a vague mindset thing.
Exactly. Because if you don't control your time, well, something or someone else will.
Distractions, other people's priorities.
Right. The source points out how easily mornings, afternoons just vanish. You end up just reacting all day. Taking control means using your time intentionally to build.
Like starting the day with purpose or scheduling focused work.
Or even just putting the phone away during important tasks. It's about making decisions based on the person you want to become, not just how you feel right now.
Because feelings change all the time. They're unreliable guides.
Totally unreliable. Decisions grounded in that responsibility, though, they create direction. And consistent direction creates progress.
And the source really emphasizes that strength is found in that progress.
Especially when that progress involves stretching yourself.
Yeah.
Doing uncomfortable things. Challenging your own perceived limits. Avoiding discomfort just keeps you stuck, keeps you soft.
Which means you also have to confront those internal stories, the self-lies the source mentions.
Oh yeah. That might be the most uncomfortable part of taking control, actually.
Really? Why is that?
Because it requires radical honesty. Stopping the pretense. Admitting you're not okay with settling for less than you know you're capable of.
You know deep down if you're dodging the work or making excuses.
You do. And taking control means calling yourself out on it. Not harshly, but from a place of wanting better for yourself.
In action, even small action helps here.
Action creates belief. It creates momentum. The source says, just start with what you have where you are today. Don't fall for the wait until I have more time or more knowledge trap.
That's usually just fear talking, isn't it?
Fear disguised as logic. And don't worry so much about what others think.
Yeah, the fear of judgment.
Most people are too wrapped up in their own comfort zones to judge you for taking responsibility. The source kind of flips it. When others run from responsibility, you run towards it.
That's a powerful idea.
It is. Give yourself permission to stop playing small.
Right.
Realize many limits are self-imposed. Then, once you grab that control, the real test is consistency.
Keeping the commitment, even when it's boring or hard.
Or nobody's watching. Your strength is built on that initial decision, yes, but sustained by the daily refusal to give that control back.
That refusal, especially when things are tough, seems like a perfect bridge to the next idea, building discipline through discomfort.
It really is. Discipline is like the engine here. And the source makes a really compelling argument that it's built specifically by doing uncomfortable things habitually. Comfort is the enemy again.
Makes you soft, makes you settle.
Exactly. The people who grow consistently do things they don't feel like doing. That's the difference.
So discipline isn't some magic trait you're born with.
Not at all. It's a choice. Made daily, sometimes hourly. Choosing to get up, choosing the gym when tired, choosing to stick to the plan when distraction calls. Every time you feel resistance.
That's a chance to build a muscle.
That's your rep. Push through it. This goes back to the source saying feelings lie.
Right, they tell you to stay comfortable.
They are terrible guides for growth. They want you in bed, eating junk, wasting time. Listening to feelings leads to losing ground. You have to rise above them.
Act based on standards, not feelings.
Act based on who you are committed to becoming. Growth always happens in that uncomfortable zone. Always.
And excuses are the main weapon against discipline, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely. I'll start tomorrow. It's not a big deal. I deserve a break. That little voice.
The rationalization hamster wheel.
Exactly. You silence it not by arguing, but by acting despite it. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to act. And consistency is everything. Daily uncomfortable action builds that mental toughness.
Like strength training for your willpower.
Precisely. And it spills over. Discipline in one area strengthens others. It creates this positive upward spiral.
But it's not glamorous, is it? The source suggests it's often quiet work.
Far from glamorous. Often quiet, private, sometimes just plain boring. But it's real. It's powerful. The results take time, but they last.
You won't always feel like it.
You definitely won't. But you keep going because you made a promise to yourself. Keeping that promise, especially when it's hard, builds incredible self-trust and belief.
Starting small seems crucial here too, not trying to change everything at once.
Yes, the source emphasizes that. Focus on maybe one or two small, uncomfortable things daily. Wake up 15 minutes earlier, do one more rep, spend 10 minutes on that task you dread.
Small pushes build momentum.
And they prove you can do it. But the source warns against breaking the chain. Don't skip and say, I'll catch up tomorrow.
Why not?
Because that lets emotion and comfort sneak back in and regain control. Discipline, seen this way, isn't restriction. It's actually freedom.
Freedom from regret, from weakness.
Exactly. The hard road makes you stronger. It's commitment over perfectionism. No one's coming to force you.
You have to lead yourself.
You do. And the amazing thing is, what was once incredibly hard starts to feel less hard, even normal. Discipline becomes part of who you are. That's where real self-worth grows.
So the call to action is simple. Do something uncomfortable that improves you every single day.
Push that edge daily.
Okay, so you've taken control, you're building discipline. Where do you direct that focused energy? That brings us to removing distractions and focusing daily.
Focus. In today's world, this is a huge one, maybe more vital than ever. Inner strength demands you stop letting your attention get fragmented.
Cut out the noise, take back your focus.
You have to. Without focus, that discipline we just talked about doesn't have anywhere to, well, land effectively.
And distractions are sneaky because they feel normal, right? Like checking your phone or email constantly.
That's the danger. Strength isn't usually lost in one big blow up. It leaks away in tiny, seemingly harmless bits. A scroll here, switching tasks there.
And over time, that weakens concentration.
Kills it. Lowers productivity, erodes confidence. You end up feeling scattered, stuck, like you're never fully present or effective.
So you have to actively decide what gets your focus and, maybe more importantly, what doesn't.
That's essential. Not every ping, not every email needs your immediate attention. You have to become like a fierce guardian of your focus.
Guard your time, respect your energy.
Because if you don't, The world, other people, your own habits, they will absolutely consume it. Focus isn't passive. You have to create it. Intentionally design your day, your environment.
Designing the environment, like cleaning your desk, turning off notifications.
Yes, making your space work for you, not against you. Then get crystal clear on priorities. What are the top 1 or 2 things today that really move the needle?
Give those your full attention.
Undivided. Don't confuse being busy with being focused. Multitasking and constantly reacting. That builds nothing significant.
The source uses a muscle analogy for training focus.
It's perfect. You don't start bench pressing 300 pounds. You start small, maybe 25 minutes of deep concentration, then a break.
And you just keep practicing pulling your mind back when it wanders.
Every single time. That's the rep. You strengthen the muscle. The source points out most people today can't focus deeply for long. That makes them weak in a crucial way.
A scattered mind builds nothing. A focused mind builds everything.
That's the essence. Mastering attention is non-negotiable for real strength. You have to control where your energy goes.
So step 1 is noticing what breaks your focus. The phone, too many tabs, saying yes too much.
Yes, requires that brutal honesty again. See the leaks, then build routines and boundaries to plug them. Schedule deep work, set boundaries, learn to say no or not now.
And don't feel guilty about protecting that focus time.
Absolutely not. It's about being effective, building something real. And don't wait for the perfect time to start. Start today. Messy is okay.
It feels like focus isn't just about doing more, but becoming more.
That's the deeper layer. It brings clarity, the ability to see patterns, to stop wasting energy. Stacking focused days changes you from feeling scattered to feeling sharp, in control.
And that trained focus carries over into other areas.
It gives you an edge because you're serious about directing your life. So the takeaway, remove distractions, give your best attention to what matters daily.
Okay, but even with control, discipline, and focus, life happens. Things get tough. Which brings us to part 4, pushing through pain.
Yeah, pain. It's not a mistake. It's not a sign you're failing. The source frames it as inevitable, part of the process, a test.
And strength isn't built by avoiding it.
No, it's built by facing it and pushing through it, whether that's rejection, failure, loss, exhaustion, emotional discomfort, you name it.
The natural reaction is usually escape, though, isn't it? Numb it, hide from it, distract ourselves.
That's the default.
Right.
But those give short-term relief and zero long-term strength. The source is really clear. Strength is forged when you walk through the fire, not frantically looking for the exit.
Moving forward even when it hurts.
Step by step. Because quitting just isn't on the table. It means breathing, staying centered, and taking action while the pain is there.
And each time you do that, you prove to yourself you can handle it.
Exactly. The power comes from enduring, from navigating the hard parts, not skipping them. Real strength isn't the absence of pain.
It's acting constructively while it's still there.
Doing what's right, what's necessary, even when your body and mind are screaming, stop. Pain reveals who you really are. The test isn't when things are easy, it's when they break down.
So instead of running, you sit with it, face it, learn from it.
That's the path to growth, according to the source. Stop looking for the escape hatch. Ask, what is this teaching me? Growth is often hidden inside setbacks, but only if you stop trying to avoid them.
And enduring builds a kind of quiet confidence.
A deep, calm confidence. A peace that comes from knowing, okay, I handled that. I can handle what comes next.
But acknowledging some days feel like too much isn't weakness.
Not at all. That's just human. Strength is refusing to let that feeling dictate your actions. Refusing to trade your future growth for temporary comfort right now.
The source mentions that pain often lies to you.
Oh, it does. Whispers doubts. You can't handle this. You're not built for this. You have to learn not to listen. Just push anyway. Yeah. One more step, one more rep, one more day.
Win by outlasting, not avoiding.
Exactly. And stay consistent with your core routines, even when hurting. Don't let pain derail everything. Don't seek unhealthy escapes.
Running makes it louder.
In the long run, yes. Facing it, sitting with it, actually diminishes its power over time. As you practice this, you change. Less fear of hard things, more steadiness, more clarity.
Others notice that kind of strength.
They do. Powerful people don't avoid pain. They use it. Turn struggle into strength, setbacks into fuel. Stop looking for the exit. Start showing up. Pain means you're getting stronger. Prioritize growth over feeling good.
Stay in the storm to come out changed.
Feel the pain, let it teach you, then use it. Become more focused, more determined. Show up anyway. Push through without escape.
That ability to function under duress, to stay present, it leads right into training your mind for calm during stress. Stress is unavoidable.
Totally unavoidable. But your response isn't. A mind that melts down under stress, that's a huge liability. A mind trained for calm under pressure, that's power. Focused, clear, steady.
And calm isn't just a feeling you hope for.
No, the source defines it as a skill you build. Trained specifically when things are hard. The real test is staying composed, focused, moving forward when life gets unpredictable.
Life won't stop testing you.
It won't. So the choice is yours. React emotionally, let panic take over, or respond steadily because you've practiced.
How do you start practicing that calm response?
Awareness first. Just notice your typical reaction. Do you panic, freeze, lash out? Seeing the pattern is step one.
Belt in the buzz.
When stress hits, stop, breathe, slow down the immediate reaction. So much damage comes from reacting too fast, emotionally, just centering yourself for a second.
It interrupts the spiral.
Exactly. Calm is refusing to let stress hijack your decisions, staying focused when your mind wants to spin out.
And the training happens in small, everyday moments.
That's where the reps are. Navigating traffic without raging, taking a breath before responding to frustrating news, listening instead of interrupting. These prepare you for the big stuff.
Consistency over perfection again.
Always. You'll mess up. Keep coming back. Strengthen the control. Calm comes from repetition, patience.
Structure and systems help too, right? Not just willpower.
Huge. Protect your peace. Quiet time matters. Cut unnecessary noise, stimulation. Simplify commitments. Say no to draining things. Walk away from pointless arguments. Calm is built in these daily choices.
Feeling chaotic often comes from living chaotically.
Right. Organize your life, create clarity, build a calmer baseline, and learn your stress signals.
Like shallow breathing, racing thoughts.
Body tension, yeah. Notice them, then consciously shift. Slow the breath. Focus on facts, not the anxious stories your mind creates about worst-case scenarios. Catch and reset.
And self-talk plays a big role here.
Massive. Stop the "I can't handle this" narrative. Replace it. I've handled tough things, one step at a time. Focus on what I can control. Your mind follows your lead.
Lead it towards calm, not fear.
Exactly. Calm isn't weakness, it's controlled power. It lets you decide from strength. Makes you a steady hand. You can always choose calm, even if you don't feel it initially. Panic is useless. Don't let stress take hold.
And with practice, calm becomes the default.
It can. You become unshakable, not because life got easy, but because you got stronger.
That internal strength, that self-awareness, it really hinges on part 6. Speaking truth to yourself. This feels foundational.
It absolutely is. The source argues the hardest, most vital conversations are the internal ones. The real, honest truth.
That's where inner strength starts. Facing yourself.
Yes. Stop running from honesty. Tell yourself what you need to hear, not just what feels good. You know yourself best. You have to be the one to hold the standard.
Because others often won't challenge you directly.
All right, so the check is simple. Look in the mirror. Ask, am I really doing what I said I'd do? Does your life match your words?
And if the answer is no,
speak that truth clearly.
Yeah?
I'm falling short here. I've been avoiding the work. I'm lying to myself about X. It's not about beating yourself up. It's a wake-up call.
That clarity must be powerful.
It cuts through confusion like a knife, puts you face to face with reality. Living in denial just keeps you weak, keeps you stuck. Asking, where am I letting myself down? Changes everything.
Because you see the pattern and can actually change it.
Right. Admitting I haven't been disciplined, or my actions don't match my goals, or I'm wasting time. It breaks the illusion, brings clarity, direction.
Taking ownership, this is on me.
That's the turning point. And this honesty builds self-respect, self-trust. You stop guessing, stop making excuses. You start living in alignment.
Which brings a different kind of peace, not comfort, but integrity.
Exactly. And the source distinguishes this from being harsh. It's clarity used to lift yourself up, to do better. Truth wakes you up, shakes you if needed, pushes you forward. Avoiding it gives away your power.
You end up living based on feelings instead of facts.
Which we know lie. You have to be your own coach, your own guide. Make it a daily habit. Speak honestly to yourself.
Ask real questions daily.
Did I give my best? Did I follow through? Did I use time well? Face the answers. If they're negative, decide to do better. But crucially, acknowledge the wins too.
I showed up. I made progress. I stayed focused.
That balance keeps you grounded, and this internal honesty reduces the need for external validation. You become a solid inside because you're living in reality.
Unlike people stuck in self-deception.
Right. So look at your life, your patterns. Ask the hard questions. Speak the truth no one else will. Not to tear down, but to rise up. The truth speaker is unshakable.
And those patterns the truth reveals often boil down to habits, which takes us to part 7, breaking bad habits and creating stronger routines.
Yeah, our habits are literally how we build our lives. They determine who we become. Weak habits mean weak results, no matter how much potential you think you have.
So the turning point is deciding to break the unhelpful ones and build better routines.
Exactly. Face what's not working. Bad habits creep in subtly, right? Checking the phone first thing, hitting snooze, the afternoon sugar crash.
They seem harmless individually.
But over time, they quietly drain your time, energy, confidence. They build a lifestyle that works against you. You have to be honest about them, face them, don't accept it's just who I am.
You can change.
Absolutely. But it takes work. The source says start by making bad habits harder. Interrupt the pattern. Move the phone. Set cutoff times. Use app blockers. Whatever it takes.
You can't get better results with draining behaviors.
Right. But just stopping isn't enough. You have to replace the bad habit.
Replace it with a better routine aligned with your goals.
Exactly. Build routines that provide structure, especially when motivation is low. A solid morning routine sets the tone. An evening routine helps reset. Systems protect progress.
Start simple again.
Definitely. Don't try to change everything overnight that leads to burnout. Focus on killing one bad habit and building one good routine. Consistency first.
Small wins prove you can do it.
Waking up consistently, drinking water, moving, planning the day, these build momentum and self-trust. And know your triggers.
When you usually slip, tired, bored, stressed.
Yeah. Anticipate those moments, prepare for them. Meal prep, lay out clothes, schedule work blocks, remove temptations. Design your environment for success.
What if you slip up? It happens.
It does. The source says don't spiral. One bad day doesn't erase progress. Recognize it, learn from it, adjust, and get back on track immediately. Strong people recover fast.
They don't let a clip become a slide.
Exactly. Lasting change is built on consistency, not perfection. Habits either build strength or break it down. There's no middle ground.
Convenience, comfort, distraction lead to frustration.
While consistency, clarity, effort lead to a stronger you. Routines shape your identity. Starting the day with purpose makes you someone who leads, not reacts.
Don't wait for a crisis to change.
Change because you're committed to growth. Decide to stop living below potential. Start acting like your future is worth fighting for. Every day, every moment is a choice.
Old you or new you?
Stop saying someday. Start now. Break what holds you back. Build what moves you forward. Do it with purpose. Build that foundation. Choose habits wisely. Keep going.
All these pieces: control, discipline, focus, pain, calm, truth, habits, they really come together under pressure. Part 8, standing firm under pressure and fear.
These are the moments that define you. Heavy pressure, loud fear. The temptation is to fold, shrink, run, but strength is built right there in the storm, choosing to stand firm.
Fear whispers doubts, tells you to give up.
It does. Combined with real pressure, financial, personal, whatever, it can shake anyone. But strong people aren't fearless. They feel the fear.
And keep moving anyway. Stand when everything says run.
Exactly. You don't need to remove the fear first. That's a trap. Stop letting it control your response. Strength is refusing to be moved.
Saying to the fear, you're here, but you don't control me.
Right. And that control comes from practicing courage in small ways, daily. Avoiding pressure gives it power. Facing it reduces its grip. Pressure trains you, shows you what you can do when comfort is gone.
While most people look for the exit.
And that's where strength isn't built. Frame pressure as a signal. Something important is happening here. Lean in. Face it with that calm mind and strong will you've built.
There's peace in deciding nothing external breaks your commitment.
A deep peace. Deciding you won't compromise your values based on fear. Making decisions based on what's right, not what feels safe when you're scared.
Pressure also reveals your default patterns.
It's the ultimate stress test. Panic, excuses, shutting down. Or deep breath, gather yourself, move with purpose. Train that purposeful response now.
Because life will keep throwing curveballs.
Disappointments, failures, unexpected events, they happen, you still choose. React emotionally or respond with strength.
Fear is loud but temporary.
And courageous action makes it shrink. Don't wait for it to leave. It often won't. Courage is acting despite it. Confidence grows by moving forward anyway.
Thinking clearly under pressure, facing uncertainty.
And the source mentioned slow burn pressure too. The long haul. Can you stay steady? Keep showing up without quick results. Standing firm is consistent, quiet, choosing not to quit.
It's not pretending you're never weak.
No, it's not letting weakness make the decisions. Face the day, give what you have, push when tired. It's a commitment to growth as a lifestyle.
She fears self-doubt, criticism as chances to stand firm.
Exactly. Prove you don't run, you adapt. You stand. That builds incredible self-trust and pride. Powerful people use pressure. Those who avoid it stay weak. Strength is earned by showing up through challenge.
You're meant to rise, not collapse.
Keep your head clear, heart strong, feet planted, move forward. Courage, conviction. Strength is built every time you stand firm when pressure comes.
Standing firm, even when you feel weak, that connects right into the next principle. Moving forward, when motivation is gone, this is where so many people fall off.
It really is the ultimate test, isn't it? Those days with zero motivation, no fire, no energy, just nothing. But progress belongs to the committed, not just the motivated.
You have to learn to act without the feeling.
You absolutely must. Life's ups and downs mean you can't depend on mood. Waiting for the right mood means more waiting than building.
Inner strength is built on those empty days, when you show up anyway.
Precisely. When you feel flat, but do what needs doing. The source says motivation is just a spark, it's not the fuel. Structure, discipline, just showing up when you want to stay still, that's the fuel.
So what do you do when the excitement fades? When the routine feels heavy?
That's where discipline lives. Showing up when nothing feels special. You don't need inspiration to keep a promise to yourself. You need to be someone who keeps promises, especially when it's hard.
Life gives you resistance, boredom.
Silence sometimes. You have to generate your own momentum. You can't wait for it.
How do you do that when you feel totally drained?
Start with the smallest possible action. Not because you feel like it, but to prove you're in control. To not waste the day. One tiny step can shift your state.
Act first. Let the feeling catch up later.
Or maybe the feeling never catches up that day. That's okay too. Waiting for motivation is a trap, a delay. Your growth, your goals, they can't afford more waiting. They're too important to be optional based on mood.
Progress is your responsibility, regardless of feeling.
Acknowledge the low energy? Sure. But don't obey it. Don't live there. Keep going, because your habits, your standards, your vision matter more than temporary feelings.
Powerful people operate on standards, not moods.
They have a baseline that stays constant. This builds consistency, dependability first to yourself, then others naturally follow.
And showing up without motivation, that's when you should be most powerful.
Absolutely. That's the real, quiet, unseen work, the stuff that truly transforms you. No applause, just internal integrity. You do it for yourself.
To know you didn't give up, you kept going.
Exactly. That builds the unshakable person who isn't derailed by emotions. Consistency, when things feel flat, builds your edge, builds character.
It's not about motivation, it's about who you're becoming.
Building a mindset that doesn't fold. Keep your why in front of you. Remind yourself why it matters. Think about the cost of stopping.
Delaying action delays progress.
Moving without motivation builds growth. Every day is a chance. Stack small wins. Don't break the chain. Do the right thing even when your heart's not in it.
Discipline becomes momentum.
Carry you through. You start relying on work and standards, not hype. Real strength is built in the uninspired moments where you keep going. Stop waiting. Start moving. Create your own fire. You won't always feel motivated, but you can always choose to move forward.
Choosing to move forward, choosing your habits, choosing your response. It all comes back to living intentionally. Our final part, living every day with purpose and intention.
This really ties it all together, doesn't it? Every day is a choice. Build or waste. The difference is living with purpose.
Purposeful people don't drift.
No, they have a sense of what matters today. They're building a life that means something, avoiding that aimless feeling. Purpose isn't about knowing the distant future perfectly.
It's about stopping autopilot now, knowing why you're doing what you're doing with your hours.
Right. Because the alternative is being busy, but not intentional. Filling time with noise, not progress. Ending the day feeling empty.
So you have to ask yourself why.
That's the core question the source raises. Why get out of bed? Why do this work? Why spend time this way? If it's just survival or habit, that's not enough for real strengths or fulfillment. You need a deeper reason.
Something that gives direction to your choices.
Exactly. And that reason, that purpose, it stops wasted energy, helps you say no, makes you focused, steady. It doesn't have to be grand, just true for you.
Supporting family, mastering a skill, growing daily.
Something that keeps you anchored when things are dull or hard, reminds you who you're becoming. And intention is putting that purpose into daily action.
Deciding ahead of time how you'll live the day. Choosing, not reacting.
Treating your time like it's valuable. Living with clarity. Setting a plan, moving with purpose, showing up like your time matters. And this isn't about being productive every second.
Even rest can be intentional.
Exactly. Resting with purpose, working with full focus, being fully present with people. Stop half living.
The benefit must be feeling more in control, less scattered.
Yes. Stop chasing irrelevant things. Stop comparing. Your path is clear. Energy goes to your mission. Intention gives you power over your attention. It all comes back to that ownership. This is my life. I am responsible.
That decision leads to doing, not waiting.
Well, the alternative is getting stuck in wasting habits, chasing comfort, repeating empty routines, just maintaining, not growing.
You want to look back and know you gave your best, didn't waste the time.
And that doesn't happen by accident. Purpose is the anchor. Daily life isn't about perfection, but presence. Aware of how you're living. Honest when you slip. Focused on getting better.
That brings peace, strength, clarity.
And you don't need motivation for purpose. You decide what matters, then you act like it matters. You don't need a perfect plan, just a reason to keep going, especially when it's easy to drift.
Purpose is in the small things done with intention.
Wake up with a clear reason, not just tasks. Live, speak, work. Rest from that place. The source warns against being busy but disconnected. Active but not aligned.
Start the day asking, who am I becoming? What matters today?
Let those questions shape your actions. Challenge distractions. Your legacy isn't just achievements, it's how you lived each day. With heart, responsibility, giving time to what mattered. Live with purpose daily, especially the quiet, heavy, unwatched days. That builds real strength, helps you rise above the noise, builds a meaningful life.
Wow, okay. That was a really comprehensive deep dive into building, well, immense inner strength. The core message that keeps coming through is that this isn't passive.
Not at all. It's forged, actively built, day by day, through conscious choices and consistent action. Especially when it's hard, uncomfortable, or you feel zero motivation.
Built through taking that radical control, finding discipline in discomfort, fiercely guarding focus, pushing through pain, training for calm under stress, speaking hard truths to yourself.
Breaking bad habits, building strong routines, standing firm under pressure, moving without motivation, and tying it all together by living daily with purpose and intention.
The source isn't demanding perfection, is it?
No, it's demanding consistency. Strength is an internal architecture. You build it, choice by deliberate choice, day in and day out.
So here's something for you, the listener, to consider as we wrap up. How might choosing just one of these principles, maybe the one that resonates most or feels most challenging right now, how might focusing on just that one principle today begin to change the way you experience the challenges you face tomorrow?